this is not how you want to start a football game. You've got 12 personnel. They go motion across, and it's like, first thing you see. Now, listen, the Philadelphia Eagles are just going to try to run to the double team if they can. So they decide here to take the right guard and put him on the center. They're going to have Lane Johnson just try to cut off Kenny Clark. And quite frankly, he does a good job of getting penetration here. It's almost too fast. But they're going to try to run downhill right behind that double and then cut off of it. And this is a situation where, like, if you're Quay, man, go. Like, this is what we've been talking about with you. You got to go. See the whole like, just get through there, make the play. Now you're too late. Now we got a 14-yard gain in the first play of the game. And whether or not he makes that play or not, it's like the mentality is, again, I look at this and go, okay, McDuffie, Wilson, Cooper, one of those guys is shooting that gap. And I'm just saying that anecdotally. I can't prove that statistically. This is from just watching this tape. So 2 plays later, and this is going to be I think the name of the game when you talk about the deficiencies for the Packers versus what their strength is. Their strength is their offensive line, and we don't have a pass rush. So you look at this, and I think you got over 5 seconds to throw the football, and you're asking a lot of Evan Williams here. I mean, he's playing defense for a long ass time with a lot of ground in that back. So when you score a touchdown like that, you can't really blame the secondary. You got to go, hey man, someone's got to get home, get him off the spot. That's ridiculous. Gun motion. And this is something I just want to point out. They're starting on a B with Landon Dickerson here. So backside B with him and Mailata. They see TJ Slaton coming across. And so he's going to immediately turn this into an A and start double teaming that shade. Now, what that means is Kenny Clark has to win on the backside versus Mailata, because now he's essentially being single blocked, and Kenny does end up winning this, ends up falling in and getting a shorter gain. Now, I'm showing that for 2 reasons. 1, that's a great job by Kenny and TJ. But 2, that's where you want to get to if you're the Green Bay Packers from an offensive line standpoint, is you want to be able to make those adjustments on the fly. That wasn't a pre-snap call. That was we take our 2 steps. We see that there's a change here. We adjust to the change on the fly. Tackle already has this assumption that he's on his own. It tries to make the play. It's not always perfect, but if you do it, you're going to be right more often than not. Got a 2x2 with a tight end attached. And I just show this play because, our Valentine out here is all by himself, especially when you're in these. Sorry. Especially when you're in these looks. I thought these guys did a really good job outside. This is his 1 catch. Really, 1 catch for 10 yards. You pull the backside guard. So I mean, this is from a execution standpoint up front. This is the easiest thing you can do. Timing for the quarterback. He has to go through his fake. We got the guard pull. He's gonna have a little extra time because from the linebackers, and then easy throw and catch. But really, 1 catch for 10 yards. That's fantastic. Now, sometimes, and this is where you see kind of the difference in play, you look at Cooper and you look at Quay, and Cooper literally pushes Quay into making the play here. I don't know if they're trying to run a cross dog or he just reads it that much faster, but it feels like he just reads it that much faster. Pushes it Quay through the play and ends up making a great tackle. Now, this is where Cooper can, and part of this is being 229 pounds, 231 pounds, whatever he is. But right here, you got Xavier McKinney behind you. You need to just have an incredible amount of violence. Now, I remember this a very similar play when we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles in Lincoln Financial. I pull, and I'll be damned if I just look to my left and Jeremiah Trotter is coming at me, 260 pounds of dick and dynamite, and he just wants to knock my block off. Right? Completely different than the center should never be able to just butt him up right here and capture that edge. That's just an absolute no-no. Put your shoulder into his chest and force Saquon Barkley to either bowl this more so Xavier McKinney can get there or have to cut it back. But that's where we can continue to improve. Now that kid's had an incredible season. This is just one play, but really, really something to look at and go, have to be more violent on the edge there because that's one of their staple plays. This play right here is just tough, man. You look at kind of Rashawn Gary and you go, I don't know what you're supposed to do either because they got the cross motion, they've got the RPO, they got the double pull on the backside, they've got the tight end coming across your face, so you can't even really get to the quarterback on the straight and narrow if you want to. That's just tough. That's a really good football play. I mean, they got 8 guys in the box and you got 9 people because you're running your quarterback. It's like, what are you gonna do? Route recognition here on the bottom, right? Top of the numbers, 2 yards inside. What is he running? Speed out. Period. Right? Single safety high. I know you got deep third, but he's running a speed out at the sticks. Like that's route recognition, right? Double A's. So they're gonna bring Cooper, they're gonna drop Quay, and then I think it's Wooten over here. They're gonna drop him. This is a good play. So they run like a little arrow or Texas. I think they're running a screen here, but we drop into it and got to throw it out. This is just a good play by Jeff Hafley. Good play call. Like those little things. Now, listen, Lane Johnson is just a dancing bear here, right? So I think they bring 20 off the edge, Bullard, and he actually spins him like a top. Listen, I bet you that's the only time you're ever going to see an all-pro right tackle get spun by a safety. But the guy recovers, gets his hands back inside. It's insane. This is when you know things aren't your day. So they pull the backside guard. They take the center and they block back. Now the center stays relatively square, but he actually oversets on TJ Slayton. TJ Slayton, nobody blocks him. I don't know if the center thinks that the backside guard is coming with him and they're just all blocking down because that's what I would have assumed. But he just lets him go here. Didn't even think about it. And Slayton's wide ass open. And just, I mean, this is like a play that needs to be in. Like, Slayton's not going to catch Jalen Hurts, right? But this is a play that needs to be a tackle for loss or a sack, and he just exits. It's like just throw the ball away, no problem, right? Just live to play another day. It's just funny when those are the kind of plays where if you flip the script on that, I bet you Jordan Love just because that's the way that life's going, he ends up getting hit there. Look at the double that these guys put on Kenny. And because of that, we don't, Quay's not really sure where to go. They're just backing him all the way up into there. Now, this is one of those situations where you don't really know how they're going to run this play because when they hand this ball off, usually this is split flow, meaning they'd hand the ball off kind of with aiming the running back towards the right guard's ass. But they're just running this on the backside and they're running it on the double team and then they split flow it. So if you close your eyes and I said, what does split flow look like? You could describe it by saying, okay, that tight end's going to go cross face across the center and all the offensive linemen are going to run to their right, our left on the screen. And then they're going to hand the ball off to Barkley going to our left on the screen, their right. And he's going to cut off that guard, that center, whoever the first guy is. So that really that one or the 2-eye. They don't run it like that. They run it backside off the double because they think the double is going to get that much vertical movement that it creates this seam. And this is where numbers lie. So 2 sacks for both teams, but look at this so their first sack, he just decides to take a dive, I think, after rolling out to his right. He could have thrown the ball away. Anything could have happened. There's their second sack. Still holding, still holding, still holding. Sean Gary, look, hats off, effort play, fantastic. You got to get this out. This is how good players get a lot of sacks. Made the Pro Bowl. I mean, all that's fantastic. But that looks, you know, you look at the stats sometimes, you go, oh well, you know, they both got 2 sacks, blah 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 blah. It's like that's completely different experience. This was a head scratcher. It's 2nd and 1. They go double A, so everybody's playing off, and you know, eventually, you know, Kellen Moore is over going, oh, wait a second, I if I block this up right, I got, you know, Dallas Goedert's not like the most imposing tight end in the world, but you know he's bigger than 200-pound corner. So they just bubble out, do a quick check, bubble out to Goddard here, crack on the safety with AJ, and then stiff arm. And that was really kind of it's kind of how the game goes, though. I mean, it's this was, if we're just being honest, it's a better football team, and the better football team won the game. But there's a lot of stuff you can grow from.